All right. Welcome, everyone. Hey, it's good to have everyone here. Well, there's actually a kind of a special call tonight until some others join in, but this is our week three of this Unstoppable Branding Experience session. And it's actually pretty fun because week three is really cool because we've already been going through the first 2 weeks of the story and videoing the story and redoing it and then writing it and starting to identify kind of what your closing signatures are, really start creating some of the video that you're getting comfortable with your core message. And then when we move into week three, we start really now digging deeper into taglines, right? What do we want to be known for using just that short little tagline under a branded header, so that we can begin to craft now our signature, right? Again, we talked last week. I use Be Unstoppable because we're the Unstoppable family. That's my signature in everything that I do. And we then start to get our mind in the right place of everything that we are now going to be sharing is really going to be on purpose. So when we start stepping into week three, now this week, we're going to be setting up, if you guys haven't started organizing your thoughts for your video series, we're going to begin those starting off this next Monday. And you guys, of course, can do and start whenever you want. I would like for everyone to start this Monday, so when we get to the class next week, you've already got some of these videos under your belt, so that you feel really good about them. And now you're starting to draw attention to not only your posts but also to your videos, which that's the whole point, right? Is to draw attention through our brand because our message is so solid. And then, of course, the last week, we're going to start really kind of covering everything, get everything nailed down. So today's really cool because there's only two people here today. Everyone has had some things happening and going on. I actually have a lot of people that are coming, joining me on Friday, which is fantastic. It's great. I'm doing a couple little private sessions with a few people as well because of the time zone change. But today's going to be really, really cool because we've got Jen and Stephen here. And we're going to go through kind of what's happened for you. I know Jen done a couple more things. I'm gonna have to open this window. It's really warm in this house. If it starts getting super loud, let me know, you guys, because we're right on the edge of the main road across the road, and there's buses and all kinds of stuff that move by. And so if it gets too loud, let me know. So I want to make sure that we keep the recording good. But okay, so this is good. So let's do this. I know right now, Jen, you've gotten both your written story done and you've gotten your video done. So why don't we start with you and kind of why don't you give me a background of what's happening for you, maybe some bigger questions that you've got, because I want to start now hitting, we're going to start really talking about how we're going to nail down some of your guys' taglines. And so you guys start getting really clear on that.
Okay, so so I've done a couple of story videos. I had to redo it once, and I've done my story post. I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable in the camera, and I'm thinking it's time to move forward and start really getting my brand name and my tagline down. I've been kind of playing with different taglines, and I've actually submitted some information to the design team at ILN. But she actually advised me to be really, really sure before I submit it, and she starts working on it.
Yeah, so let's do this. So, yeah, why don't we let's do that. Why don't you? And the reason why I interrupted you, I didn't mean to interrupt you, is that why don't you give me your main domain name so that I can.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to spell it out here too. It's Unlimited Generation, but generation was with Jen.
Okay. Okay. So we need to really highlight that. Okay. Okay, that's cool. I like that. Unlimited generation. That's pretty cool. It's very clever. You're a clever
Yeah,
girl.
I wanted something that kind of had like a double meaning to it.
Yep. Yeah. That's all right. So let's see. So and it's really fun is that Ashley at ILN with your blog, she is super, super amazing. And she'll do something fun with this, the Jen part. She'll probably make make it really big and fun. And so it really stands out. So that's something that will cover today too, is because we're at images and colors too into week three. And so we'll go through that stuff as well at the, we don't have to do it at the end of class. We can do it during class as well. All right, cool. Gianna's here. Hey, G, what's happening? It's good to have you here. Super good. All right, so cool. So we're all right. So let's go through this then, Jen.
Okay.
So let's lay it. Did you write out some taglines already?
Yes, and I had one and I was pretty happy with it. And then my husband brought it to my attention and I kind of thought about it. It for people who are second language and are reading my blog and my posts, it won't make sense to them. So this is it. It's from vital sign taking because I'm a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
From vital sign taking to paradigm breaking.
Okay, let's see. I'm
And I don't
sorry.
know if that was specific enough, if
Horrible
it really
typer.
says anything.
Okay, let's see. Hold on. Let me just get it out because it is a lot. One from vital sign taking to paradigm breaking. I don't know. It's pretty cool. But it's like you said, if you have someone going, "What's vital sign taking?"
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Another option I had was step out of the ordinary and into extraordinary.
okay. As you can tell, I'm like the worst typer. Whatever. I just go do it fast. Okay. Let's see. Well, of course, that one is it's kind of vanilla, right? Which means
Okay.
it's it's been
Okay.
used, right? It's
Yeah.
been used,
Okay.
but not bad. It's been used. You can.
Okay.
I think we can do better.
Um, Another one was freedom never goes out of style.
Okay. Well, that's kind of fun, right? Because that's really fun. I've never heard anyone even bring that up. That's totally different than I ever hear. So let's look.
Okay.
Which is it's fun because it's funny, Jen, because I like the vital sign one because I want to relate you to who you were to where you're going.
Hmm.
So let me ask you a couple questions with this because this is always a really fun way to
Hmm.
think through. Have you considered or thought about the way you want it to look yet? Because that can really make a difference as well as to how your tagline looks.
I had an idea. Yeah, the V in vital sign would be like an echocardiogram. That's kind, you know what the heartbeat.
Yep, yep.
I thought about something like that.
Okay. Which that would
I
make that would make sense for that word. So for others as well, right? You can make it into a way that makes it. She can create imaging with words. Is basically what I'm saying,
right.
right? So she could even do from, um, yeah, like you said, echocardiogram image. You could like literally from with the tagline, she could put an image around those words and make it look like something that explains what it is.
Cool.
All right,
Cool.
so that's a thought. So let's. So tell me more.
There was another one. It's more specific to the travel thing. Switch your career to roaming and travel the world.
Okay. Let's see. Let's. Let's see. We can. I like to play with words. I just pulled that out myself. Let's see, because we can work with this one.
Okay. Switching careers to roaming the world. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean it's still not like enough. It's kind of just
Right.
messaging, right? And that's one thing that what we do, guys, when we do taglines, and if you guys read the part in the branding book, because we really alliterations are always great. They're fun because they rhyme. People really get the hang of them. Like for instance, right now we are using from making a life to make or from making a living to making a life, or not making a living, making a life. Designing,
Uh-huh.
we play with the words a lot. I also we're getting ready to switch to proving anyone can work from no home because that's like a message that's important, right? Because it's like, wow,
Mhm.
proving anyone can work from no home opposed to working from home, that whole message that everyone's so used to hearing. And we've used inspiring others to live their dreams now. So it tells a bit about us, but then we start moving into like leaders loving life or freedom, fun, and family first, right? So you start kind of using alliterations as well, or you stick with a short little message that really describes you and what you're going to offer to them. So what I which one of these, Jen, do you feel really it relates to who you are, what you want to talk about in your blog, as well as what you're going to offer.
Um, the first one relates more to me and where I'm coming from.
Mm-hmm.
However, it doesn't say much about what I'm doing,
Right,
like what the business is
right.
or what
And
the
remember too,
purpose
you
is.
don't always have to, you're not, your brand is not your business. Okay. Your brand is you. And because you have
Hmm.
done the things that you do, the things that you share, and how you have the time to do them is the business, right? So that really, remember, this is your you're making a personal brand here. We're not making a product brand, we're making a personal
Hmm.
brand. Okay.
Right.
So
Right.
I still think that this little message here, it is more of a message because we always want to go between 7 and 10 words in a tagline.
Hmm.
So you're
Hmm.
right at 7, which is fine. Like we can go uh, taking vitals to taking vitals to taking travels, or like, let's see, this just to play with words. Um,
Yeah, I
because
like that.
Yeah, because you can then, travel, of course, is your business, but it's
Yeah.
also what you like to do, right?
Right.
So it
Yeah.
still can relate, to what you. Sorry, there's a big old bus behind me. So it still relates, right? So we can maybe play with
Right.
something like that. Do you see how the taking vitals to taking travels, it kind of rhymes?
Yes, I like that.
you know and that's a fun way to start creating your tagline, that really imaging now can play a really big part. I mean, you could go as far as literally having one side of your branded image being you, and like the nurse hat or whatever,
Yes.
and in the dim background of the image, to you on the beach in a hammock.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking for the vital sign on that half of the page, have me with my stethoscope
Yeah,
and taking a blood pressure or something, my gloves. And then on the other side, kind of a like a more of a fun type of picture of me.
yeah, and that could really work. I like that. I mean, that certainly is a um, that's got a more of a that's you, and then it tells you what you like to do and what you do. So we could also play, I mean, the taking part, it doesn't have to be taking. You might be able to switch taking out. There could be a T word here. um, let's see, can we sit on this, Jen? Let's sit on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, because that's
Yeah.
good, and I want it to click. um,
Yeah, yeah.
so we can, let's I want you to start thinking, right, too, while we're here,
Yeah.
because that's good. I'm going to write it down too, so I don't forget. Because I always, like, if I get something in my head, all of a sudden, like in 30 minutes, I'm like, oh, I got it. Right?
Perfect.
That's what makes it fun. Okay, so tell me a little bit about now. Where have you started to organize at all any of your video series yet? Have you thought about that yet?
I've started thinking of a theme because I haven't been able to come up with a theme, but I've been able to come up with topics I want to talk about.
Okay.
But I don't
Okay.
know how to put it all together in a theme.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's bring those out. Let's do that.
So I've come up with four different topics. One is a topic I would talk about is being afraid to act,
Okay.
taking action.
Okay. Right.
A second topic would be about change and how people want change, but sometimes they're not willing to do what's necessary for change.
Okay.
Um, and then something about how every person you'll ever meet knows something that you don't, and people who always say, "I know that, I know that, I know that," their minds are closed.
Okay.
So I
Right.
don't know something about that, closed minds. Yeah.
Okay.
So those are just actually those are the three topics I have now. I've just got the three. And I would relate them to not just business but life in general, right?
Okay. All right. So this is a good start. And what let's see, afraid to act. I mean, these could be like these three really could be a different day series, right? This could actually be a series itself because it's really personal development.
Mm, yeah. So the theme would be like a personal development.
Yeah, that's. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. We got some feedback in the back. Sorry, guys. Okay, we're in this little small place for this week, and there's
Okay.
like some crazy talking going on in the back room. I'm like, trying to. I want to make sure I can hear you guys properly. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this could be a good series. Okay, this is a really good example. I'm glad that you already prepared for this because this helps everyone, especially who's watching this recording as well. It allows them to really get to understand how you set it up. So when we set up our video series, again, we not only take who we are, what our brand is, and of course, just our core message, the things that we really like to share, and we put it up, we set it up in a video series. So that would mean, let's say on Monday, Jen creates a video that's like, hey everyone, it's Jen from was it Unlimited Generations, right? You're going to start using this, right? From Unlimited
Hmm.
Generation. And this week, I'm going to really get deep into some topics of personal development. I'm going to really kind of dig you in your minds a bit about people and how people are afraid to take action and how they get frozen and how change scares people, and right, so you set them up, so you let them know your first video, this is what's going to happen all week. I want you to some I have done before where I said at 9 a.m every morning, so every morning at 9 a.m check Facebook, so I'm going to send that out, and then of course you'll post on Facebook, but you'll also post it on, set it to a list if you've already built a list. If you haven't built your list yet, then of course you'll start building your list because they're going to start coming to your blog as well. Because as
Yeah.
you start creating these video series, you can start them in Facebook and then invite people, right? Your soft 3 to 1 that I talk about in our call to action
Hmm.
video, invite them to see more on your blog. As you have more posts and if you have more videos in your blog, of course, it's pertinent to say, come on over to see more of these videos on my blog. So you're going to start bringing traffic to your blog. So how you'll
Hmm.
do this is now you're letting them know, these are the topics you're going to talk about all week. And then,
Hmm.
Jen, I think, obviously what you would do, because this really is kind of a first video series, and
Hmm.
you can just really put together kind of content about people that are afraid to act under 2 to 3 minutes. Do you think you can do that?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of these is that it just gets your mind focused. And what you'll want to do, of course, remember, if you did you watch the video, Jen, that I sent you guys for week 2?
Yes, about the 3-to-1 ratio. Yeah.
Yeah. So you use
And
the hook.
the hook and the content and the call to action.
That's exactly right. Okay, awesome. So all of these will have every single video you ever do, guys. This is how you want to start thinking. And if you haven't started thinking that way, do it, because even if you're doing a really silly video, right? You can, literally, hey, it's, I always say it's Ron Swam and the Unstoppable Family. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about this. I give them some content, and at the end, I either say, go on over to my blog and take a look, or go out and be unstoppable. That's still a call to action. That's my closing signature, or I say click the link below, right? So we're with our 3 to 1 ratio. So within our video series, we typically will do, you want in the beginning, you really want people just to enjoy what you're talking about. You don't want them to feel sold, but you can start inviting them to your blog, right? Because your blog is your neutral zone, your neutral home, and you'll be able to close. Let's say you do the second one, change. Hey, so today's change, and you talk about your minute and a half worth of information about change. And then
Hmm.
when you now switch over to your call to action, you might say, and so for those of you guys, I hope you enjoyed this today. I want to invite you on over to my blog so you can really see more about me and really where these thoughts come from, right? So those are like nice
Hmm.
soft call to action. So this is like a really good setup video of your mind. Now, let's say next week you decide Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday that you're going to do an even more powerful video series that has a little bit more call to action on it, and maybe it has something to do with like your business, right? So did you think of anything that you could do that relates now to your business that you could actually start calling people to action to your either your lead capture page or your your blog and maybe tell them where to click on your blog. If you have a banner on your blog that has to do with your travel company, you can also call to action to people there, saying, hey, go on over my blog and click that button on the right hand side with me sitting in a hammock, right? That's a call to action, but you're telling them what to do.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
And so I shouldn't put, yeah, so I should not put the call to action with the link to my affiliate link there. I should not do that, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't do any affiliate stuff on these types of videos because they don't make sense, right? Unless you're doing it with this specific travel one and you have it set up to where you're saying, maybe you set one up and maybe it's, discount travel, right? You could set it up. I don't know your topic, so it could be something like that that relates to your company, but you're giving them still value,
Right.
right? So it could be. I know there was a health connection to that. There was travel, there was health, and so maybe you set
Yes.
up and you use some topics that have to do with not even discount travel, just maybe travel. Like, gosh, when was the last time you took a trip that you were so nervous the day before your trip was over because you knew you had to go back to work, right? So it could be both.
Right.
You could start hitting those.
Okay.
Um, you start hitting the, what do you call them? The solutions or the problems that these people are having. That could be part of your video series. Is maybe write out problems everyone has, and every week, every day of the week, you're talking about one of those problems. Like it could be daycare, right? But for you, if it's travel, it can be, traveling for limited time, right? For like 2 weeks,
Hmm.
let's say, right? You can do those. You can talk about, gosh, yeah, how many of you guys have a job and you're getting ready to take your 2 week vacation? I know that feeling, and you talk more about your story a little bit. I know that feeling too, because gosh, that happens to me. And I always know that whenever I get ready to leave, I start having to know I have to work, and it just freaks me out. And right. And then you start talking a little bit and you say, gosh, so I'd like to do, I want to invite you to find the solution that I have that allows me to travel and I can take as long as I want, right? Something like that. Or you can do a video series that literally just totally offers information about your product without selling or telling them you're selling them a product. You give, some of the benefits that your product offers. And then at the end, you can say, guys, go on over. If you really like this, go on over to this page. And let's say, do you have a URL for a lead capture page? I think you do,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is the ones that if you do something, a video series like this, then you can start inviting them over there because they might really interest them. Right?
Okay. Perfect.
Does that make sense?
Great ideas. Yes, absolutely. It's kind of exciting. This is a
Yeah.
great idea.
Yeah, it is. It's really fun because then so when you set up your video series, you set it up in a way like you have topics, right? So we pick our topics, guys, that first off, ones that relate to us, ones that we like and enjoy, right? Which for me, it's travel, it's personal development, it's family, and then we can do topics on problems that we can solve. Okay, problems that we can solve is a huge one that everyone, no matter what area you're in any business, you can actually do a business or a video series on problems that you can solve for people, and you talk about them. Like I do daycare all the time. I do traveling, right? Unlimited times, right? I do a lot that where I can just travel unlimited as much as I want. I'm not locked in. I do, corporate rat race stuff. And these are, for me, they're just kind of natural. I just do them all the time. And then, of course, I will do marketing, right? Tips of the day or business tips of the day. So I just do them randomly now. My people just know I just do all kinds of different stuff. For you guys, this is going to help you by going Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday, helping you really organize what you do. Is this making sense?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, good. Because it's going to really help you too. It's going to help you guys get organized. So then on Sunday or Monday morning, you're like, okay, this week I'm talking about personal development. What are some big topics I could talk about? This week I'm talking about freedom, right? What types of freedoms are there? This week I'm talking about
Mhm.
travel. This week I'm talking about problems. And you start just getting used to that, and then you just start getting better because now you guys are learning something. And what you learn from me is stuff that you can learn and teach others. And that's really what some of the most values that I've ever seen is that now you're going to be able to teach others. which is really
Mm-hmm.
impressive, right? Because if you start learning this, you guys are going to start teaching people how to do this. You can do little videos and say, hey, I want to do a marketing tip for today. Do a video series. I learned this from the, branding workshop, and and then they ask, what is that? And then then now you're giving them a resource to something. And then of course you guys, if you refer someone, that's a benefit to you too. And it goes both ways, right? That's just how we start sharing, because I will promote other people. Now, I won't benefit from that, but it also shows that I'm not the one always trying to take something from everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can give as well without even asking anyone to do anything. And that's why last week I talked about hashtags, right? Hashtags helps us, in Facebook especially, offer things to people without really selling them anything, but still having a way that they can find you, even, find more of your stuff, which your links would be under those hashtags. Is that clear? Anything come up for you in that one, Jen? Because I'll switch over. Um,
No, I think I'm good for now, and I'm just going
okay.
to keep thinking about my tagline. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Rhonda.
Yeah, of course. Awesome. Okay, cool. All right. So let's see. So Stephen, come on out here, buddy. I know you said you had some issues with your story. You said you got the video done. You're having a hard time getting it written out.
Well, I did an initial video, story video, and it was just quite lengthy, um, being all the things I've gone through. But and then I did a couple shorter ones trying to break it, trying to pinpoint certain things a little better. Uh, and I started writing it out, and it just seems like every time I write something, it's like I just seem like I'm rambling on with it. So, I keep trying to edit it, and I'm just not done with it. Um, I don't know. I'm just bad with words and trying to write it out. It's just driving
Okay.
me nuts.
Well, remember, this is the thing too. I mean, everyone does things a little different. Some are better at video, some are better at the writing, and some are just really new to
Yeah,
everything, right? And if we're new to everything or one or the other, we want to stretch ourselves. Let me help you, give you some ideas of how to really get that down, because really it's you start off your story with who I am, right? You always just start off with, like, hey, my name, it's Rhonda Swan. I really share with you guys a little bit about me, because you can use this on a blog where people get to know you more. And sometimes the details that we think are important really aren't as important to the people listening, right? So we want to talk about really who we are and what my vision is, right? Because you're doing something. So you want people to see this is this guy who's got a vision. And you can really even use these words. Hey, this is, Stephen Quick. This is who I am. I am a guy that, did this one here and this happened to me, because you have a really incredible story. All the details are not as important. What's important is how you are totally taking control. Whereas there are some situations, right, that other people might just not take any action, or just feel bad for themselves, right? So
yeah,
there's definitely some areas that you can really hit on. This is what my vision is, and you start telling your story a little bit. And then, and so, because when you share with people what your vision is, they get inspired, right? And what happened to me and what I did about it. Because you have really a format now to kind of help people understand who you are, and people get inspired by those that do something that they would not have done, or they get freaked out about a occurrence or a situation in their life. Is that helping?
yeah, it is.
Okay. So
It's
how did
just,
the video come out?
um, I mean, well, I shot the video the very first week. I was going through the bigger one, marking out the key points. But then I went ahead and shot the other ones. I think they came out fine. I know I posted the longer version on, I can't remember. I put it on my, made a blog post, I believe. I'm drawing a blank right now. Um, and posted it on Facebook. And, I got a lot of people, commenting back on it. Well, a few. I don't know. I need to go back and I want to redo everything a little bit and just try to tighten things up a little bit better.
Okay. Because once you get, really once you do your video and you share, of course, that's when you're the most vulnerable and you're sharing your story the most with people, that's when they are going to be the most encouraged to click a link, right? So when you
Yeah,
touch
I know.
their hearts, right? We get closer to them in an area where they're like, wow, they're not selling. This is like something going on here. And so that's when did you post a link up when you shared it the first time?
Yeah, I put a link in the group, the branding page.
Okay.
I
Did you when you
posted that
shared
up.
it on your own personal page, did you direct them to your blog at all?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I posted the video. I put the video on my blog and created a little post about it,
Okay, cool.
and then posted on my timeline in Facebook.
Okay, good.
And it was yeah, that's what I did.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because of course what we want to do is everything's about traffic, right? So we always want to make sure that we
Yeah, of
are,
course.
and I know that you know this because you were at the event, that we want to always, we create something, right? Especially when you do a video or a story. Of course, you make it a post, and then when you put it on your blog, of course, that brings people over to more traffic. And so you can even write. The way I do things on Facebook, sometimes I won't always put the video. I might write and then say, "Go see the video on my blog," or I might give a video and say, "Go see the full post on my blog," and I'll send the same to my list so that I'm bringing more traffic. They're getting some content, but I'm bringing more traffic to my blog as well. And of course, on our blogs is where I like to have things sold. I like my blog to work for me because it's a neutral zone for people. They don't feel like they're being sold because they're reading a post that you got, and they might click around on your blog. That's what makes blogs so
Well,
so amazing.
that's the other thing I'd really like to set up and get working is I don't have a personal blog right now. The only one I've been using is the company blog, and uh, so that's just something else. And I've just never been good with blogging, period, and just what to do. And I don't know. Sometimes I start things and just get a little just overwhelmed, just trying to get everything just right. And
Well, this is the thing about the new system rolling out with Empower is that you're going to have it's
yeah,
be totally different, so don't get too overwhelmed. It's going to make it really simple for you as well. It's going to allow you to really get more encouraging to post, I would say, because that's
yeah.
the way that we share. Now, have you started to think about? I know you mentioned you hadn't really um, started getting your taglines down. Have you started to really think about any of those yet?
I tried to start thinking about it, and it's just like I get stuck. Like I just can't put anything together. I feel like I freeze up. The only thing um, that I really came up with that I felt, you know, worth putting down was rolling through prosperity.
Okay.
But
What is your domain or your blog, your domain name?
that's what I'm saying. I don't have a personal one right now. Yeah, I've
What,
just been using the regular EN link.
oh, you haven't even bought a domain name yet for your Empower Network blog.
No,
Ah,
no, I completely didn't even think about that. I've got
okay.
several different domains that I use
Yeah.
for forwarding and masking for things, and I can't believe it just never even dawned on me to,
Well, what are some ones that you
um,
have? Because when you start deciding what, your domain's going to be, it really starts to guide, your brand as well. And
yeah,
the rolling through prosperity is cool because you're in a wheelchair. It's got some meaning to it.
yeah, of course.
I mean, it relates to your story. It relates to who you are. I mean, you could really take rolling through. Uh, let's see, yeah, because we could really add to this too.
The main domain that I use for forwarding and creating subdomains and so forth is Your Gateway to Prosperity.
What is it?
Your Gateway to Prosperity.
That's a domain name.
Yeah,
That's a long one.
which is, yeah, it's a little lengthy. That was the other thing, but
Yeah. Okay.
I just,
Um,
like I said, I haven't.
I
I've
would
been
say
trying to
something
think
should be
of others.
probably, would you say that something in your domain or your URL based on who you are should be rolling? Would you,
I
have
mean,
you looked at
that
that?
was just an option. Um, what was one I just looked up to see if was available real quick. Was Rolling Prosperity. Um, to be honest, I really haven't found anything good or thought of anything
I don't want to put any words in your
that
mouth,
really
right?
just stuck with me.
I don't want to put any words with your mouth, but I want to help you the best that I can. Because once you nail this, Steve, I need you to take some time and don't think about anything else. Once you nail this, everything ties together, right? Um,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it could be rolling
Well,
through
that's one of
life.
my issues. I just got so much going through my head all the time. So,
Well, okay, so like, look, let's just brainstorm, get nuts, right? I mean, like, do stuff that's
yeah,
different, right? Roll. Okay, so let's rolling through life, rolling with, rolling with prosperity, right? You can, and then you can be rolling through life with prosperity. I mean, so you can start taglining differently. Like you could be rolling with prosperity.com. I mean, because you got some cool stuff, but you got to really, obviously, you're a very unique guy. And you take your uniqueness, your passions, and throw it into your brand and who you are, you're not going to get stuck. You're going to identify, right?
yeah. I've just got to find that one thing that resonates with me the best.
Yeah.
That's
So, what I want you to do is this.
just writing down some options.
Yeah, okay. I want you to do this. I want you to literally do the fullest, craziest, ridiculous brainstorm you could ever do. I want you to write down
Yeah.
20 at whatever combination. And I don't want you to stop until you get at least that many down. 10, 20, whatever. Rolling with prosperity, rolling in prosperity. Living life, with prosperity. If it's because I know you like prosperity and you're part of prosperity team, so that's a good relationship, right? Um,
Yeah, that's definitely an option. I mean, it doesn't have to stay there though.
sure, of course not.
It's just a matter of really trying to, yeah, I just really got to sit down and think.
And once
I,
you
I,
get,
I just feel like over here in our house, it's just feel always feels like chaos. So
hey,
that's why
I
it's
get
hard
it.
to just settle down and think.
Yeah, exactly. You need to
So
stop and say, okay. And
yeah,
maybe this is a good way to do it too, is you take two or three keywords that you want to stick with, right? Which could be rolling, could be prosperity, right? And then you
yeah,
start creating combinations around that you really want to, um, that relates to you. Okay. So maybe we start with just writing down words that just relate to you. It could be anything, whatever things that you like. Anything. It could be beer,
yeah,
whatever. It doesn't matter. Roll, beer, prosperity, anything. Just write them all down because that's easy. You're not combining. And then when you write like 20 of them down, words, you're like, okay, circle. That one works. That one works. And then now you have four words that relate. Then you start linking those two together. And if they work together, cool. If they don't, you take one. You see how you do that process of switching, eliminating, and bringing them together?
yeah.
Okay, because I know this, Steve. I want you to know I believe in you that you get that done and it'll go, it'll like pop out of you. Right? And then your video pops
Yeah, of
out.
course,
Everything
absolutely.
rolls from this. Everything rolls from this section because once you get this, you know it. Now you start talking in a way that your stories come that way, and then everything you do is now about you and your brand, and you're really the name of your brand. That's how it starts to get you going. That's why we start with our story and we let it come out of us. Some people need to start here and the story come from this. It's always back and forth. It's so funny how every time I do these workshops, I think I've got the right, like linear movement, and it always goes back and forth. So that you could just be on the backwards curve, which is great. And then all of a sudden, like it pops for you today.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's what I want
Yeah,
you to
I'm
do. I want you
definitely
to
gonna.
tell me what you're going to do
Yeah.
then, so I can make sure that you know what you need to do next.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna. As soon as we're done, I'm just gonna sit and think about everything and work on a domain, a tagline, and the brand.
Hold
Um,
on. Let's take it more simple. You're going to list the words that relate. Then you're going to circle the ones you like the most. Okay, simplicity. Because what happens, like when I hear you say I'm going to work on a domain, a brand, I'm like, whoa, that's like way deep. We need to start simple because that stuff
right.
pops out when you combine those words. So, list of words that relate to you. Circle the ones you like the most. Then start combining. Okay, you're going to have a common theme that is going to come out. And you're gonna freak out. You're like, wow, this is really common. These words relate. This connects to me. Have someone help you. You know, have your wife, have you guys do it together. Because once you get this, then your stories, it's going to be like boom. You know, it's going to totally relate. Then your videos, you're going to talk this way. And then you're going to start promoting your posts and you're going to start using some of these keywords in all your stories and all your themes that totally relate to people. All right. Anything else that I can help you with right now? Because that's kind of a lot, and I want to make sure you get that because by next week I want you to also, um, after you get this done, you're going to start now producing some video series, right? And that's gonna you could this has got to be done.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm definitely gonna work on it because I already spoke to my wife about it and
Okay, good.
talked to her about it because I was getting stuck on everything. I just could not get anything to pop out. So it was just she's good with writing and just words, period. So hopefully between the two of us.
Awesome. That's good. I want you to really focus there because I wanna make sure that you leave here like, yeah, I'm totally solid. Because man, I tell you what, this is the piece that every marketer deserves to have is this foundation. Because once you got it, then you just start letting it roll, right? Okay, awesome, cool,
Yeah.
good, buddy. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear this from you. All right, so let's see who else. I know Heidi's here. And I have some stuff. Certainly, we have some content to cover too, guys, in relation to color because we always stay on point with content for those guys that are ahead and those guys that are right on time. No one's really behind. You're just in your own space. But I will definitely cover helping you guys understand imaging and pictures and how colors really relate to your customer and your audience. Okay, so Heidi, do you think are you caught up in a space? I want to make sure if there's some questions that you've got that you get them answered because this it's like the worst when it does that. We're doubling up here. Oh. Okay, one of those. We're crazy. Are we on two different lines, sister? If we're on, we might be on a phone and a computer. Could be. I don't know.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, this is so cool. Hold on. I need to close my phone down.
Okay. Yeah, I could tell that you were in for two. That's what happens sometimes. It's okay. We can always figure it out. But I just want to make sure that we can get down and dirty with you, sister. And if there's some stuff that we need to cover on this live call, yes, we will. If we have one more left for this session. And of course, everyone always can start over. I know that you missed a couple sessions, didn't you? We'll wait for her to come back. While Heidi's coming back, Jen, did anything else pop up for you yet?
I'm just trying to think of from needles and scrubs to something, from
Ooh,
hospital scrubs
that's
to
a
something.
fun one.
Yeah, but
What?
I can't figure out the second part of it.
Ha! How about this? Oh, ha, ha. I gotta do it fast. It's came in my brain. Uh, from needles and scrubs to living the life to needles and scrubs. Wait, let's see,
Yeah.
to living the life I love.
Yeah.
right?
Or
That's the,
from hospital scrubs to something.
yeah, like that.
From
You can.
from from stethoscope to something.
Oh gosh, see. uh, but this is the most fun that I have. I love doing taglines because they all really can work. But it's like then you look at how it should look like, right? And I'll do colors in a minute. But this is fun. You're kind of like you're going back and forth, which is super fun. When you get that groove, they all start to flow out.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
from Needles and Scrubs, A
I
Living
just
Life I Love is a little long, but it could be fun.
I wanted to have a ring to it, you know,
Yeah,
not necessarily a rhyme, but some kind of a ring to it.
right. Um, and remember, we can always imaging can work too. It doesn't have to be like just words. It can be like literally. It doesn't have to be even be from actually. Literally, it doesn't have to be that. It really, we probably wouldn't use that. Needles and Scrubs. Uh,
It's hard.
this is the most fun part though. Once you get it going, um, let's see. I love or you love. Um, Needles and Scrubs to a life you love, to a life I love, because that's fun. People get
Yeah.
inspired by a message like that.
I like that one.
Yeah, it can work. It totally can work, and she can do fun stuff with the words. Like I had a girl last class that hers was health. What was it? Health, wealth, and something. And she didn't want to use. She wanted those words in there, but she didn't want it part of her tagline. So then you create an image, and she had like an image of, it's Clover Sunshine is her name, but she didn't. She wanted health, wealth, and something in there, but it wasn't part of her tagline because she wanted to be like taking you down the Sunshine Road. So she did a clover with health, wealth, and love or something in the clovers. So
I see.
you know what I mean? So you can create the image that you want to portray through the words you want to portray through an image.
Oh, okay. I kind of get it. I get what you're saying. So to a life I love, but I could have an image with it that kind of explains it more.
Yeah, exactly. Um, we could do from then again too if you needed to. This is just fun when you just work around it, and it could be like wispily written on on the left hand side from, and then needles to scrubs to a life, right? You know what I mean? And then to and life I love, right? So this part could be the messaging, right? And it could be just whimsically written, so it has
Yeah,
meaning.
yeah, yeah.
You see how that's
I went I went to a rhyming dictionary to find words that rhyme with scrubs, and I
good one.
couldn't find any.
No, it's the best. I do that all the time. I mean, alliterations are amazing. Like that. That's they because they rhyme. They have rhythm and they're easy to remember.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good. So cool. I want to check in with you there.
cool.
I'll go
Thank
back to
you.
Heidi.
Cool.
This is what I love about having small classes. I mean, this is a great one. Okay, Heidi, come on out.
Okay, so you can hear me okay? I'm
Yeah.
on my phone. I couldn't figure it out on my computer, so I already had you here. So not, I'm not caught up to speed, but I mean, all these things you're talking about have been, they've been mulling in my head forever, and I'm literally stuck because I can't nail anything down. So that's why
Okay.
I so desperately
All
working on
right.
it. So where I'm at, and you talked about like taglines and URLs. I have like a gazillion URLs because ideas come to my head and I just like go and buy them. But when you talk about like jotting down words about yourself, like I mean, my priorities, parenting is my first priority. My kids. I have 3 kids, 4, 12, and 15. They're all 3 in private schools in 3 different towns, and they're all like my 2 older kids are in elite level sports for hockey and lacrosse, and my daughter also does basketball. So I am on the road. I'm running around with my kids, and so one of my one of my names that URLs that came to mind was Mobile Mompreneur. When I ran that by somebody, they had, they're like, well, your business isn't in mobile, and I said, well, it's kind of going there, but my idea was more mobile. I'm on the go, and
Right.
I mean, just like I jumped on the webinar, in my car, and
Right.
was listening to it as I was driving. So, and that's a lot of what I do is
Yeah.
in my car.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good. Yeah, but I'm sorry. I'm thinking but that's really who you are, right? And so this is fun to play with because you could do something really different that no one else does because you're not just a mompreneur, right? A stay-at-home mompreneur. You're like a superhero mompreneur. I mean, it can be mobile because it is mobile,
Well,
but you know what I mean?
right.
Like,
Well, the other part of it is my background is in fitness, wellness, nutrition, and so it's funny you brought up health, wealth, and I have a URL, and one of my URLs from my Empower blog, which I don't use. I don't blog on it. I'm embarrassed to say, but is health, wealth, and wisdom, because everything that if you go to my Facebook page, most things I post about my interests are my kids, health related, nutrition related, fitness related, and those are my passions. And educating people as a personal trainer, and I used to train personal trainers, travel around the country and teach workshops, seminars on fitness and nutrition, and then teach certifying them. So that's still a very big part of me, although I'm not an active trainer and I don't still train trainers. That's still a passion of mine,
right?
In helping others there. But I'm not using it to bring in an income, if you will.
Right. Okay. Well, that's okay because this will be a video series for sure, right? And
Yep.
I'll re-get step into this next week again too, because by next week everyone's going to start doing them. But I know that you were slightly behind. Had you done a story or your story video yet?
I'm sorry, you went out. Have I done a story or a story what?
Story video or written it out yet?
I have. Yeah, I haven't posted. Sounds really. Maybe you can help me do this. I posted it back on Facebook like a long time ago, and I can't find it, and I can't figure out like how to find it. And now I remember you said in one of your workshops to copy it somewhere else and then paste it in, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, was it on your page?
It's on my page. I did it before I even did this workshop.
Okay.
And part of it is, my whole thing is like where I have ambivalence about posting and I kind of get anxiety is that I have this sense like I don't, in all these, home businesses, go to the conferences, I always have this sense like I don't belong because all these people talk about getting out of the rat race and and wanting to be home with their kids, and I have that already, and financially we're very well off, but I just have this inner drive, inner passion to do it. I don't want to just sit back and do nothing. So that's been a huge block for me too, in stopping me from putting out there. I guess it's what I heard a couple weeks ago, people's concerns about being judged. And, yeah, so.
Okay, let me ask you this. Is there like a theme that you say like, because I like your, we can really play with this really fun and make it really, because you're like a mom on the move, but we don't have to make it so cliche. I mean, it can be like, you know, getting moms out of their way or kicking moms to a higher, ground, like taking the higher level of mompreneur, like not just a mompreneur. It's like, mompreneur, taking my family fun and creating fortune. Something like, you know, because if there's, is there a theme that you would say, like, are you like a get off your butt and start doing something, mom? Like, come on, or is there like a, because you want to inspire other moms that maybe already have this kind of life to be with their kids, but to do something, have a drive. And there's a lot of moms like that. They just don't know what to do.
Wait, I don't know. I don't think I'm following you.
Okay.
Like, is there
Okay. So
in terms of what? In terms of my personality, like that?
well, yeah, because what we did when we did in the first couple classes, we really looked at who's your customer, and we find out really who our customer is kind of through us. What are we like, and who do we like? So is there like a certain person that you might be talking to, right, that you want to inspire? Because you're a mompreneur, who is it that you want to share that with? Is there a certain person you can think of? Because when you can see and feel and hear that person, you can talk to them and you kind of start to get your theme.
Right. Yeah, I don't have that. That's where I'm lacking right there. You just said it.
Okay.
I don't have that. I don't have that vision of who I'm talking to.
Okay, this is fine. This happens to a lot of people. This is always, in fact, in the slides, I think in week 2, I always say, do you have a clue who your customer is? No.
Right.
Most people say, I don't. So this is what we do. We look at ourselves. Okay, so I want you to write down all your characteristics, right?
Yep.
Right, because this is how you're going to get to it. And this is also in, I think it might be week 2 or week 1. You write down your uniqueness, everything about you, what you think your specialty is, and it can be really based on you. It doesn't have to be based on a product or a company. It's like, what am I? And then you really start to write that down, and you're like, dang, okay, if I'm this, then the people that I want to talk to are this too. And you really write down those, because you shared those characteristics with me. So that's why I was starting to go with it. Like, all right, you got these moms,
Yeah.
right, that may already be able to be with their kids, and they maybe do have some money, but they have a drive to do something more. You know, like putting a spark, in the everyday mom or something. Like, because there's something that you've got that you can find that if it's one person or one group, you can target them, and that your message becomes, because that's who you are. You're the most comfortable when you're talking about the stuff that you are. Because I talk to moms that were corporate that want to be with their kids, right? And travel. I have now these luxuries.
Right.
My language is that's the only way I can speak to those women. So is there a theme? Right. That's what I want you to do. I want you to find out what your theme is. Right? Who is that person? Okay. And it probably should start with you.
Okay.
Because I know you missed the first couple, which is fine. Because when we start over again in 2 weeks, it'll be like perfect. It just rolls around.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to start doing taglines yet if you haven't gotten that part. So remember I said to Stephen, once that part gets done, it's like everything just pops out.
Right.
But if we don't have
that makes sense.
If we don't get the foundation set, we're going to be stuck. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, now right now I know how people connect with me is, a lot of it is through, health and or nutrition, fitness. Okay. And, like one of my whole big things is I started working out at home. I mean, I didn't do anything with the Beachbody coaching, but I have I use Beachbody products. And right. Because I didn't want to put, people, you talk about not wanting to put your kids in daycare. I didn't even want to put my children in the daycare at me. All slew of reasons, I just I wouldn't get an effective workout because all I could think about is my child stuck in there with, a gazillion kids who had snotty noses and their parents didn't care. They just wanted to work out. So I started working out at home, and a lot of people, relate to me of that, or they, relate to nutrition points that I make, or, even personal development, because that's a huge part of me and instilling that in my kids. So, I mean, I think being with my kids and being there, you know, like I could hire a driver to go pick up my son. It's a 45-minute drive for me to go get him at his school where he goes. But I want to go and drive him,
Yeah.
pick him up, you know what I mean, and be in the car. So, you know, I'm just thinking of things that I put out there and that people comment on or relate back to me about.
Yeah, I got it. This is cool because it's like and I could be running with this on my own way, but I'm thinking it's like, would you say though that you will want to really target moms? I mean, is your message seems to go to moms, and of course dads will hear it, but really sounds like women and moms because that's the style that you are. It's like you're going from taking ordinary mom to being extraordinary.
What? I'm sorry. Ask me the beginning again. That I have a call came in on my phone. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Um, I said I may be running with this, but what I'm hearing from you is kind of are you talking, you think, to moms? Would you say moms are really what you're going to talk to? Is that's going to be kind of your focus? Because it sounds like it surrounds everything that a mom really should encompass, right? Which is their kids and life, but making that the priority and not really themselves.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Um,
I mean, is it bad to? Am I excluding this whole market out there? I mean, I know there's stay-at-home dads, or is it better to just speak to, you know, who you feel
yeah.
comfortable with, or who I feel comfortable with?
Yeah, you speak. This is the thing. This is why this class is so vital when we start understanding this area. Is you find those 1 to 4 people, okay? You're going to have a nucleus, right? Mine is absolutely family, right? But I'm a corporate woman, right? So I speak to everything's about family, and I'm a corporate woman because I work, right? I'm a worker of the family, and then it's travel people that have families, right? So we find our four main. But when you have a core like you've got, of course you're going to be able to hit everything. You will be able to hit everything. In fact, I used an example of a girl that I've worked with for a while now. I'll show you if you haven't seen her stuff. Her site is the Housewives of Success. She had the exact same question. She was, the internet is my oyster, really gravy vanilla, right? Kind of boring. And her stuff's not loading. Here, I'm going to let this load so it doesn't drag on you guys. Let's see, where's her headline at? It's not loading. Where's it at? Hers is so awesome. I don't know why her header's not showing. I'm gonna have to let her know. It's really powerful. Gosh, her header's not showing for some reason. I don't know what's going on. She must be working on her site. That's so funny. I picked her right when she's working on her site. That's exactly what's going on. Heather is my graphic designer for the workshop. So you guys need any type of designs, work, anything. She's our workshop graphic designer, and she'll do anything you guys want. But this is so silly that her stuff is not showing. She's working on it, of course. And anyways, Heather's was the internet is my oyster. So she was really vanilla, like super boring almost. And she then got really clear on who her audience was. And when she found out who her audience was, which was housewives, her whole message was to housewives, how they can be successful and how you be a great mom and how to be a great marketer but it was encompass housewives. And she's now got men that tell their wives to go look at her site. So you don't use the audience. You just you target so you can talk and make your messages so straight and strict and really clear. But then of course you'll be able to hit others. Like for instance, she does. She'll do messages and videos to men. Because about their wives. And so I think you could really play on this really well by getting super clear on who that person is, because really you can inspire a mom from being ordinary to an extraordinary mom. And maybe it could be mompreneur if you want to add that in. Because it's like I read the book From Good to Great. It's about being a good to great business owner. And that's inspiring because there's a lot of average business owners, but man, being a great one and being an ordinary mom to an extraordinary mom, you can, that's kind of your theme. So you're going to give moms great ways to be healthy, great ways to keep your kids healthy, great ways then to make money, to not just be a housewife in a robe, right? So you've got all these topics that you can solve for all these women that are probably living that life.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yep. I like the ordinary to extraordinary.
I do too. I think that's a really cool, that's just the theme that popped out when you were speaking on just the different things that you do. So we can really work around those words and make kind of your theme, that this is like taking moms to becoming extraordinary, taking it up a notch, right? Taking the mom level up a notch. And that's hard to do. And you can become an advice, give people advice on how to do that. Because moms want to know, sometimes like time management, that's a big deal, and how to work and have kids, and how to get your kids organized in all these groups and in sports, and how to keep them healthy while you're, also running a busy life. Heck, I need to know that. My gosh, we're always on the road. I'm like, gosh, sometimes you got to stay with some basic groups, right? Your avocados are a staple in my family. I know they're good. We can get them everywhere. Right. But so those are the kind of things that you can then become that advice giver. And then, of course, what it is, you have a solution. Right. And you're like, and all these, you might wonder how the heck I can be with my kids and do this all the way. Well, and still buy the things that I like, because I have a great blueprint and solution that teaches me how to do that. You might want to go take a look too. Right. And you bring them over to your link. So it's always about my value to my solution. Making sense?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. All right, good. All right. So now, Gianna, I know that you're here and you came in late through this one. So I want to make sure if you have something that you want to jump out with, because you've been kind of bouncing in and out because she got married last time and she dropped out of class because she got married, which is awesome. And you're back. Are you kind of in the sit-in mode right now until you start getting things going again? Or where are you at? Because I know you started your videos. If you can talk, I'm not sure if she can talk. I don't know. She may not be able to talk. Let me know if you can talk or not. And if you can, definitely jump on out if you want to. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do, guys, is this is really good stuff. I hope you guys are getting a lot out of this, because this is when you guys start to really dig around. See, this is from last class. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to go through, and I talked a bit about this today with Heidi and or with Jen and Stephen, kind of creating that picture image and using colors and scenes and activities where you can describe also what you're looking to portray in an image, okay? Because imaging can really say a lot. In fact, I never expected that my brand would even have a stop sign in it. No chance, no way. It's not my style. I don't even really love red that much. I'm starting to like it, but it just worked for us and it just fit. And so we kind of got like, wow, that's fit for us, because it really made an impact, right? We wear that word unstoppable. When you wear a word unstoppable, it's got to have a stop sign, period. It just is identifiable. So when you begin to think about your image and your pictures that you want to include, you always want to create that that look and feel where if they see an image, they kind of get an idea of what you're all about, right? And that's why we were talking with Jen of being a nurse, having the lifestyle side to side. Steven's in a wheelchair, so of course we want to use that, right? We got to use that. That's imaging that people can connect and relate to, and really help you guys portray what you can do for them immediately in your visuals and in your taglines, right? And in your colors. So colors become really, really important. And okay. All right. So I'll jump back to you, Gianna, because I want to make sure. Are you unable to just speak? Because I saw you've been writing notes the whole time. Okay, good. Because if so, we can continue this on in another class too, so I can make sure that you're up to date. Because it's always hard jumping in the middle of a class and then making sure that you're up to date. But I will. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's go into colors then. So when we're choosing colors, of course, colors are a really big deal. And when we mix colors, really, you start to see more imaging, right? We create blue greens and things such as that. So of course we use the four elements, which are our true colors, which is red is fire, blue is air, green is water, and the earth, gray and ash is of earth. So what we do is, and this is important for you guys to know, and I know you're not always creating graphics, but when you guys actually start choosing, even thinking about the colors that you want are really important. So like for you, Jen, you ordered a custom blog, and when you do that, you're going to be really want to give her an idea of what you want your imaging to look like. For instance, we chose, guys, on the Unstoppable Families blog, we have, it's actually getting ready to change because we've been kind of making some changes in testing. Is Unstoppable never changes, but the graphics did, because we really love tribal stuff, and we chose tribal looking words, and use reds and yellows and oranges. And then I don't know if you guys ever noticed this, but our blog has a child with the world in their face, right? The back of my blog is actually a child's eye, and this is the world. So that type of stuff really makes a difference. And so obviously we travel the world, and we're all about children and family and giving. So what you want to look at is, when you're starting to think about it, you can do even more than just a color, right? So we look at ways that color theory can relate, and creating like landing pages, right, or blog backgrounds. So we look at contrasting color combinations, and of course the readability of it. And then there's psychological color associations. So let me kind of go through those with you guys, because this is kind of fun to know. All right. And this is also posted in week 3. So you guys can refer to it when you're thinking about it. But when we look at the way our colors are laid out, blue really stands for trustworthiness and loyalty and sincerity. So we use a lot of blue in landing pages. Light blue really works well, for really just helping people really bring their eyes in, and creating that trust. It's also known as intellectual color, right? So it associates common communication, logic, and coolness. So blue is really a foundational color that most sites want, especially in our industry. We want to use some blue because it makes a really big difference in how people feel when they get to your website. Now, yellow is quite youthful, right? Optimistic colors, it grabs attention. Clover Sunshine, it was part of the workshop. She, of course, uses yellow because it's a sunshine, and she uses green a lot. Because they're really associated with emotion, self-esteem, creativity, and friendliness. Anyone's with the name Clover Sunshine's got to be pretty friendly and unique. So you use the colors that work for you, for your personality. So we chose red. It's a physical color. It quickens the heart rate, promotes urgency, right? Unstoppable family. Like, bam, we are not going to take anything. So don't come cry and whine to me, because darn it, I'm unstoppable. I've dealt with it all. And we still deal with it all. It stands for energy, right? Courage, strength, excitement, defiance. Warm is also a key association, warmth is. So red is very big for us. Everything Unstoppable is like, yeah. And I'm a red personality anyway. So, of course, we got to be aware of that one. And that really works for us, right? So then we look at green. And now green is a really common color for wealth, of course. It's relaxing, and it promotes balance of health. So, of course, that's why, a lot of health and wellness uses a lot of green. But then we also can incorporate green into banners, right? As well. Like I have green eyes, but of course we really use green, of course, because it works for an earth in the world, but it also has a lot of relation to it. And then orange, aggressive. It's a call to action color. Let's see here. I use orange a lot in my call to actions, if you can see here. And guys, these are the banners that I really recommend you guys getting, if you guys, just having banners like this, because they're really personal, they're custom, they're branded, and they're opposed to using, the company's branded banners on your sites. People have seen those. If you're with Empower, if you're with, ILN, if you're with GRN, or, there's a lot of the similar stuff that people see. But when they have your own custom ones, it really changes the way people look at stuff. So orange is the big call to action color. So I use that quite a bit. Of course, as you see, blue, we're traveling, so blue works well with us. And then we use our Unstoppable Families red here. And then, this is an image, a Got Surf blue image, because it's the ocean. But you want to really see how that Got Freedom stands out. It's very dominant in the way it stands out. So you want to use orange quite a bit for calls to action. And I didn't realize there was so much light behind me, guys. Sorry, the sun setting. And then pink, it's got its normal love, warmth. Purple, really spiritual, of course. So a lot of people that have that really spiritual connection use a lot of purple. And it really creates vision and quality of truth. So, if you, if one of your really strong values, right, is truth, and you really want to, that's something that you portray, like a lot of doctors and what are they, like consultants use purple, right? Because they really want to help people understand that connection of truth. And purple is a great color. It's not hard for some people to use, but it's got a really amazing feeling to it. Of course, black's got its own normal sleekness and sophistication. So when you're thinking about how you want things to be laid out in colors and whatever you do, you want to use this as a guideline. It's really helpful because, like, for instance, this banner here, it's got the Unstoppable family. This is one of the jerseys that we, created for a rugby team we had. But click here to find out. Using red as a call to action is very dominant. It works, of course, in this color scheme here, but it's when you use red, it's like bam, super call to action. And so even if I didn't have those colors on, we would use red in certain areas. So I want you guys to really have fun and play with color, because especially if you want graphics made, and if you guys need graphics, let me know. You guys all get Heather Works. She's been my branding graphics girl for a long time. She does graphics for some other companies too. But if you come from the workshop, you guys get the Unstoppable. I guess you want to call it discount. You guys get all the best prices that we have. I don't make anything on it. It's all total Heather stuff and it's wholesale. So she gives you guys the best prices if you need stuff made, if you come from the workshop, which is super awesome because people then are going to start asking, wow, how did you get those done? It's really classy when you've got something super amazing and sexy. What? What? Yeah, he's like in the pictures. When you've got something like super amazing on your site, it's like, wow, that looks great. So and it just gives you guys your brand so much more of a look. And so colors are extremely important to the overall look and feel of your brand, and even just how you guys do stuff. When you're starting to really put some things together, when it comes to even blog posts, right? You can use color or choose the type of image, it just all matters. When you understand color, it works. So let me show you guys obviously some big brands that it works for. And that's, of course, Coca-Cola is super big and red and energy and big calls to action, right? And then we look at images. So when you look at images, for instance, Lisa Sasevich, she's one of my coaches, and she uses purple, right? It's trustworthy. She's very soft spoken, but she's really on point. And so she uses purple, but she uses an image of herself, which, guys, in a personal brand, I really want you guys to have an image of you because it's a personal brand. It's your personal blog. You want people to identify with you. Matt Lloyd, I've known him for a long, long time. He uses result, right, as part of his brand. So his tagline really is about how to make 7-figure income from the internet. And, so he uses a result, but you always want to have an image as well that connects to who you are, right? So when we think about our taglines, we want to think about who we are, and then of course use a good image that's you, so people can relate to who you really are. Just like the old way of real estate agents, they use their pictures because they want you to remember them. And then of course we can take on categories, right? Really whimsical law of attraction is Joe Vitale. That's one of his books. But of course, his imaging is, you don't think this guy's going to be hardcore at all, do you? He's really going to be connecting and very, really light and spiritual, right? And that's the image. Then you got our picture. It's like all of our faces. My daughter looks like she's like hardcore, right? It's like, that's it, Unstoppable family. Like, wow, it's crazy. But it works for us because that's really who we are, right? And then of course, some people create cartoon images for themselves. They got, this is Dagan Smith. He's a big, lead guy. And, it's just ways to help people relate to you if you want to use cartoon characters, right? And just a person calling yourself something, like we're the Unstoppable family. We're not Rhonda and Brian Swan. We're the Unstoppable family. So we're an entity. So, you guys could evolve eventually into becoming an entity, you know, which, you know, it's like we have a girl that I worked with, and she was she's the fun, fit, and fabulous girl, or something like that. And that's just who she is. And now she walks in, they're like, "Who's the fun, fit, and fabulous girl?" You know, and it's like she's identified as to who she is. She's like being Xerox, you know. So these are really fun things to start thinking of and getting your head wrapped around, so that you guys can really, you know, like especially by next week. But you're always thinking this way. I want you guys to really get this. So by next week, I want you guys to be really ready to. Your stories really should be done. And we should now start planning out your first video series, okay? And really how that's going to roll out for you. And you can start it on Monday, take the weekend and think about it. You know, a couple of you guys already kind of had them rolled out already, and utilize, you know, the training on the calls to action, you know, the hook, the body, and the call to action, and just play with them. Set them up in the first one. And I have this in week 3 as well, kind of instructions how to do it. And, you know, start now getting those taglines nailed down, get those URLs nailed down. So by next week, we're going for it. And you guys, we kind of come together and just really tie the biggest bow on it. So everyone is super crystal clear. Next week is like a big bow tie. We can have some graphic stuff. We're going to do, you guys can bring some, you know, we can talk about some marketing ideas next week. I always really like to have your emails branded. So when you guys have an image, you want to use a branded banner for your emails as well. So if those are some things that you guys don't have yet, you know, Heather, I know, can get those done for you pretty quickly if you have a good idea. And it's all good stuff. So I'm in the last couple minutes, I'm going to open it up in case you guys do have some questions still that's left unanswered. Where are you guys? Where'd you guys go? There you go. Let's see. Here we go. All right. How are you guys doing? You guys good? Anything else you want to jump out here with? I know Gianno's trying to get out here. Yeah. All right. You were trying. Are you able to jump out now or no? I don't know if she can hear me. You may not be able to type. Okay, you can't come through. I like this though. Awaken the goddess within. It's super fun. I love that. Girl power. Yeah, I mean, you've got some really good stuff to work with, girl. That really describes you. So let's make sure by next week you come and we'll take some really good personal time. Oh, and then again tomorrow too, guys. I'm also doing a class to cover up this session, 7 a.m. Eastern. I know it's super early, but if you guys want to join us tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern, you can do that too. And I can make sure you guys are registered for that so that you can be part of that one also. But okay, so how are you guys? Are you guys all good? Any last questions? Are you guys kind of ready to rock it out?
I'm good, Rhonda. Thank you.
All right. Oh, great class, you guys. Super good. Super pumped.
Yeah, I'm good to get going.
Okay, rock on. And Heidi, Gianna says, yes, awesome, good. We'll keep rocking, guys. We'll make sure it works. You guys are great. I love you guys. All right, well, cool, guys. Be unstoppable this weekend. Have a great, great, great weekend. And I will get this session up, recording. It just takes so long to transcode around here. I'm sorry, it takes a couple days, it seems like, because every time we leave, we have to, the computer shut down. So I will let this run overnight to make sure it gets uploaded for you guys. All right, you guys have a great one, and we'll see you next week. Get on these video series. I'm so excited to see these video series really roll out so we can start seeing people asking questions about what you guys are up to. Cheers, guys. Have a great one. Bye-bye, guys.
Thanks, Rhonda.
You got it.